Hello, I am the developer of Granvir, and today we're going to do a run through of the first campaign on hard. So let's skip this part. You can carry over a part from your previous run, but nobody got to see that, so that's not really fair. I like to do one arm and one gun. It makes me nice and versatile in the beginning. If I pick up a melee weapon, I can start using it. And just to start off the downtime stuff, I'm going to give some groundbreaker aid right in the beginning. This boosts my reputation with the faction and will come in handy later if I want to do any faction exclusive activities with them. And I like to do the tune-up just to keep my momentum high, and let's apply a cool looking color. Alright. Let's go to the forest. It's usually a little bit safer, especially on hard. There could be a lot of enemies in the beginning. Alright, my goal here is to get to these little POIs off in the distance marked with a question mark. They've usually got some good loot at them, and I need to be constantly replacing my parts to stay relevant here. I'm going to try and take this guy out without using too much ammo, because I can end up fighting a lot of enemies here. So, close in with the melee, and unfortunately, I did get caught in a self-destruct. Let's see if we can get in here. Melee damage will reset their targeting timer, so it can be a good way to dodge some extra damage if you're not just going to get caught in the blast like me. Alright, nice and safe for now. But it looks like there's some enemies up here. Yep. Alright, let's use some cover and try and get in as much damage as we can. Awesome, he died before he even got to us. Alright, armor's already been shredded away, but that's pretty much what you get at this difficulty level when you're taking hits like I did. And I didn't choose the carryover part, which makes me pretty weak. Oh, excellent. Some legs are a great first item to get. Once we get back to the next rest area, we can swap out our starter legs for those, and pretty much anything is going to be better than the starter legs. Ooh, excellent. There's the unmarked supply pod we get as part of the class we chose. Let's head over there and see if we can dodge that camp off in the distance. It's usually pretty scary. Let's see, an alternate torso. This guy's kind of funny looking, but it might be better than what we have. We've got plenty of ammo, and we haven't encountered too many enemies, so I'm going to pick a fight over here and see if we can get some better loot. Made my own shot miss. Alright, our threat levels hit 1, which causes certain points on the map to get reinforced. But it's not a problem for us. We'll just ignore these little guys here. Don't need two of the same reactor. Let's get moving. Pretty decent loot in the beginning. Hopefully we can find something good in these weapon crates, but this handheld firearm will be really good if we want to transition to a 2-arm build. Alright, let's see here. We can take a second gun, but we don't know if we'll be able to find another arm. We already have a reactor and we already have a pair of legs that we like, so this first resistance support isn't offering us too much. Let's take the gun and see what we can do. Ooh, I like that a lot. Alright, gun's not super useful, but we've still got a good reactor anyway, so it's not like we're missing out on too much. Definitely going to modify. We've got a lot of damage, and replacing parts will get us back to a healthy state. Probably shouldn't have left that torso behind, even if I think it looks goofy. Let's see. There we go. Get a stronger melee option, and swap out our reactor. Pretty much everything's better than the starting parts, and we even got a better cannon. Let's see. How are we doing on stats up here? Pretty okay. We could do some scrapping and use the scrap from that to repair, but we should probably check the munitions vendor and see if we get lucky. Okay, we did get a little lucky. There's an arm in here, so we can take out a big loan, go back to the munitions vendor, buy that arm, and buy some medium ammunition for that gun we picked up. Swap out that gun for an arm so you can be a little bit more versatile. And both of these kind of look the same. This is a little risky since we don't have too much ammo, but let's take this approach. Once we run out of ammo, we can probably just swap to this little knife to finish things off. This gun is definitely better than these SMGs, but I want to get the 2 arms going right away in case we find anything stronger. Alright, let's see if there's anything left we can do. Let's finish off the rest with scrapping so we can be confident that we're going to have enough cash in the next run to make a payment on our loan, and then we can use this extra scrap metal to top up our hull and armor. Awesome. Alright, farmland's going to be low enemies again, but we have to make a choice in terms of where we want to end up on the map. Not a lot of special regions up here, but we can do with the ace, which will get us a bunch of money. Oh, there's an ace over here too. And we get to go through all these nice little events. And we get ammo, but there's fun ammo up here. I'm going to play it dangerous and take on the canyons here. It can be really hard to avoid enemies in the canyons due to the narrow passageways, but we've got 2 big guns. Well, small guns. I want to be really careful to conserve my ammo here. Which probably means I should be using this guy a little bit more. That dual-wielding gun setup did not last very long. Ooh, a shoulder gun. Now we have to find a specific torso to use that, but it can be great for supporting more melee-oriented builds, so you can use both hands for your weapon and still have a ranged option. And a tier 2 side-mounted cannon, which we've been a little neglectful of. Finding both of these drop pods is a really good boon here. Ooh, a stronger pistol with a lot of ammo efficiency on it. Let's do one of these. Abandon that. Just because this pistol has a bunch of little modifiers on it, I think it's going to make it better than the actual SMG we had before. We'll be able to stretch our ammo a little bit further. Now most of these guys will just be stepping on as long as we have to really snipe out the ranged enemies and keep our momentum up. Not too much to worry about here. You can just step on these guys, be satisfied. Great. Same goes for these guys. Whoa. Lots of little enemies. I prefer the big ones because they pay more. Alright, let's take a risk here. I'd really like to get a better torso and a better arm. Do a little switcheroo. And make sure my bindings are still correct. I can change these live. But once I assign them, they kind of stay that way. Alright. This guy wants to mess with me. He's a melee enemy, so I've got no problem taking him out with ranged. Whoa, that's a lot of guys. Oh, alright. Lots of attention here. Let's see how long we can kite these melee enemies out here. Keep the ranged ones off of us. This gate's probably not going to open in time by the time I hit it. But these guys don't want to chase me much further, and that's going to be the last we see of them. Let those little spider bots stay outside. Oh, he wants peace. It's a mistake. Alright, let's get these guys out of our hair. Alright, I really want components, so we're going to take this. I don't think I can make use of 2 shoulder cannons anytime soon, so we'll just take the better of the 2 and take that enemy intel and see if we can find anything better in the last supply drop. That's a little airstrike. Since I've gotten to threat level 2, the level gets a little bit more dangerous, and I start getting tickled by these bombardments to hurry me along. Sounds like there's a mortar enemy bombarding me. Let's see if we can take him out without using too much ammo. As long as I keep moving, he should struggle to hit me, and I can just give him a knife. Oh, overestimated my heat capacity there. The knife's really strong, but it takes a lot of heat to use, so it can oftentimes leave you without the ability to get out, especially in the early game when you don't have a super strong reactor with a lot of spare heat capacity. Alright, looks like we're getting some good loot. Let's greed and take that weapon crate. Leave that tier 2 Gatling behind, because I'd like to stick with arms. And hope we can get a torso out of that component crate, because we've taken a bit of damage, and it's always good to replace your legs and torso, which are the main sources of hull and armor. Pretty much every level if you can, especially early on when you're always finding stuff that's better. And stick to the roads and get a little speed boost coming back. Alright, let's check out what we got in our component crates. Oh, that's interesting. And that's great. Excellent. We're going to lose a bit of ammo efficiency, it looks like, if we do a quick comparison. But that damage output is going to be well worth it. Let's make sure our ammo stays loaded. Let's decrypt this enemy intel, which will just take a little bit of the heat off us. And unfortunately, I'd like to use this, but our torso does not support a special module right now. Let's see. Which leaves me with not really any functional parts to install. Let's see what we can find on the marketplace. I'm definitely going to have to make a payment on my loans, and I should probably pick up some more ammo. Let's make the minimum payment and check out what we have at the munitions vendor. No functional components here, or well, no legs or torsos is what I should say. And I need to make a little bit of cash to pay for some ammo. And I don't have anything that they want to scrap. Let's just do that. Here we go. That's a lot of money for scrapping that, and I can't even use it right now. Let's scrap all 3 of these to make sure our credits stay nice and high. If we check out the munitions vendor, we're not going to have enough to modify, so there won't be too much point in doing it in the first place. We've got a healthy amount of ammo. Let's get repaired back up. We haven't taken any vital damage, which is good. If we take vital damage, the only way to repair it will be at the mechanics repair shop. But if we've just got some scratches on hull and armor, we can repair that with the scrap items. And a great way to get those is with salvaging. There's a small chance we get a functional part too. Just like that. And it's legs though, and they're pretty low tier, so I'm gonna ignore those, especially since I don't want to go back up to needing 75 heat to dash. So let's see if we can get lucky again. That's what we wanted to see, but unfortunately, we don't have the hours to modify anymore. Let's keep both of these on me, just for the next level, in case we need them. Not scrap them or anything. And let's do a tune-up. I'm a little scared that I might be weak, and that'll give me some temporary stats to get through the level. Alright, let's see what we can do. Another factory level, well, a factory level. That'll make upgrading cheap, but the threat level is going to be extra high, and there's an ace looming in this level. If we get our threat level too high, they're going to come and show us what for. We've We've got plenty of ammo, so I'm going to be extra aggressive here, not try to conserve too much, especially since I don't have very high tier legs that make it easy to close the gap on melee. There's a target to take out over in that direction, but it also means there's going to be a lot of enemies. I'm going to focus on getting to the loot and see if we can find anything better than what we're already carrying. Although I would be pretty happy just to make it out with that. 10k is a good amount of credits to have before leaving a level. It guarantees you can buy a 50% stack of ammo, which is usually enough to get through if you're not going to try and do everything on a level. Just want to make it to the other end. Alright, let's let him get a little closer before we do anything crazy. I think I might be able to take this guy out with ammo, or without ammo. Uh-oh. Close one. Nope. Deserved that one. That's what I get. Alright. Still doing okay. Plenty of hull. Whenever you take damage, a portion of it will be absorbed by your armor. And then that'll go to hull. And then depending on your hull, there's a percent chance that it goes to a vital. It doesn't actually matter what your hull and armor stats are. It's all about certain vitals that are lethal. Parts like arms won't kill you if you lose them. They'll just you'll lose the part. But parts like your legs and torso, that'll end your run if those lose their final vital. Oh boy. This is a lot of loot, but also a lot of enemies. It looks like I've also provoked the ace. He's off there in the distance. I'm a little scared. He's a fast guy, and I am not. Uh-oh. See if I can shoot around his shield before he gets too close. Alright, there we go. Got his arms off. Not too much of a threat anymore. Ooh. Now when I take out the ace, I get a bunch of credits, and he'll also drop one of his unique parts. It'll unlock the new parts in the loot pool, if I haven't gotten them yet. And if I have, it'll just give me a random one. That's what I get for making the shortest range melee weapon in the game. You can see that nice yellow loot beam. I look forward to picking up. And that's an orbital strike. I've got to get out of here quick. That's a good find. Really hope this is his torso. It's his legs. Oh, that's also incredible. These are some very long dashing legs, and they've got a pretty respectable jump too. Normally I'd have to get to level 4 or 5 to see loot of that quality, but because I took on that ace, I can get it a little early. Now not all their parts are super high tier, so don't always count on that for getting something ridiculously powerful. I'm really low on ammo, so if there's too many enemies over here, I might have to make a retreat. Let's drop these ahead of time just so I can loot more quickly. And it's just a mortar, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's take the component crate. And finish this guy with melee. There's usually a second layer of enemies over here. I've been to this level a few times. So I'm not going to go over there. Ooh, another set of legs. gonna stick to components here. I hope I can find a better torso than what I've got, but I'll honestly take that. What do you know? Better torso than what I've got. You know what? Let's be risky. I'm gonna turn around, go grab that ammo crate, maybe do a little sneak peek over what's on the other side of this airfield. Not the best vertical, but it's enough. Oh, that was a mistake. Alright, let's get out of here before these guys can get to us. I don't want to deal with them. I've only got 2 magazines left on my pistol. Orbital strike just came down, so I'll be a little dangerous and use some of my heat here to sprint. Oh. I did say just came down, and I'm not keeping track of time very well. Alright. Our threat level is super high, but these are some good parts. This is what we just picked up, so I'm not too interested in that. But let's grab this torso. This guy's a little bit more specialized for a specific type of weapon, and I don't have that. This one, though, is a lot more versatile. Alright, we're definitely modifying. Because we're in a light industry region, it's a little bit cheaper. And now we've got an all-new set of legs and torso, which puts us at a nice, healthy state. Get a module slot for some extra cooling in this case. Our reactor is running behind, though. Maybe I should have kept that component crate. Ooh, a shoulder gun, and that's got a lot of perks on it. It's only tier 1, though, so perks generally aren't going to make up for the gap in tiers. We've got a lot of extra time, though, since repairing here is, or modifying here is cheap. We could modify parts and add a shoulder slot to our torso, but we'd also need to buy ammo. Now, we're looking pretty good on cash, but we do have some debt that we need to take care of. Let's pay the whole thing off just to be efficient. That leaves us with 2,000. We could always take out another one if we really needed it to. And this lets us afford the broker once we get to 100 rep. It'll save us time accessing markets, but it's going to cost us 20,000 credits. We can get back up to 20,000 by just taking another loan, so this might be a good idea to save time. And then we'd have some extra time to scrap and hopefully make up some of that cost. Alright, let's try it. Alright, excellent. Visiting the munitions vendor and the component vendor are now free, so we can just kind of check out what that stockpile is without any worries. But we do need to take out another loan to be able to afford some ammunition, because we got dangerously low that last level. And let's get some heavy ballistic for our shoulder cannon that we're going to install. Oops. Or it looks like we're taking out a second loan because I can't count. Alright. Repay loans. Let's think about this for a second. What can we scrap? Can we scrap our way back up to 10k? And I think we can. Yup. Let's scrap our way back up to 10k. Modify, oh, not modify. Mechanic, modify parts. Add that shoulder slot, go back into modify, slap on that cool shoulder cannon. Awesome, and let's check the bindings and make sure that's something we're happy with. I can do 3. I've got extra buttons on my mouse for a reason. Alright, our melee weapon is lagging behind, that's for sure. But it's good that we're still in it here. We are out of time. I wonder what the component vendor has. Oh, that's a great torso, a tier 2 torso with some extra carry capacity. I would have been glad to take that, but I'm happy with the shoulder cannon too. Alright, let's sell the rest of our scrap. That doesn't take us much time. I'd love to get this reactor, but it's not in the cards for us today. I don't know why I'm looking, I don't have the time. That would have been nice. Alright. We are in a great shape in terms of our legs and our torso. But our arms and weapons could use a big upgrade. Our arms can make our melee a lot more effective by boosting our melee damage. Alright, let's see if I can remember our keybinds. Whoop. Not looking where I'm going and stumbling over every obstacle. So quite a few enemies to handle with my current heat levels. At least in melee, since my melee and my dashing will be competing for my heat. I don't want to end up in an awkward situation. We haven't been providing too much aid for the ground breakers, so unfortunately they're not going to be giving us super high quality loot when we help them out. Breaking line of sight is a good way to slow down the amount of damage coming in. It'll disrupt their firing timer, or just, be a wall. Oh, there's some enemies coming in from the distance. All this cover should suit me well. And I've got some extra dash distance, so I can stay off these melee enemies. That was nice of him. Uh-oh. Alright, we haven't taken too much damage, which is pretty good. We're on a special level called the Manufactorium, where we've got a little event we can do, and it can give us a part that's way over leveled for where we're actually supposed to be. But we do have to make it that far. Thinking we have enough ammo to take care of the event. Not bad, but it's hard to compete with what we already have. Let's take the torso. Just in case. I don't think I'll be replacing these legs. I'd be happy to repair them at the mechanic if I have to. Now the nice thing about these legs is they've got a pretty good jump height. And let me pop over some cover. Oh, I should have kept that scrap with me. One of the features of this area is there's these turrets we can repair with our scrap. It would have been nice to have a little bit of extra firepower going into the fight, but I don't want to waste too much time worrying about that. The longer we spend on the level, the higher the escalation gets, and the more budget the enemy has to spawn forces. So it's important to keep moving. Not interested in any of that. Let's top up our ammo and start the event. Now they'll come for either me or these towers surrounding the building. And I just need to take out 3 waves. If I'm not aggressive enough, they'll take the opportunity to take out the towers. And everyone they take out is going to reduce the quality of the loot. So it's important that I'm not too defensive, and at least keep their attention. Zoom out a little bit so we can get a better idea of where they're coming. Alright, let's get over there. Lots of mortars. Well, I guess it's just one and my eyes are busted. Okay, let's keep the firing up. Alright, easy as that. Let's see what our loot is. Leave that tier 1 rifle behind. Awesome, it's nice and high tier. Oh, that's a fun one. My heat levels are high, so I'm not able to do my full combo here, but nothing to worry about. And that was my last shot. Not the best feeling, but we still got plenty in our shoulder cannon if we really get in trouble. All in all, pretty good haul for this level. Ooh, that's a big upgrade on shoulder cannons. Let's go with that. An excellent arm too. That's going to be super versatile. Alright. Let's swap this guy out for our Rydal. This guy has a wrist-mounted cannon, and we can actually fire the wrist-mounted cannon without dropping a light melee weapon like the knife. So we've essentially got a pistol and a knife in one hand. Now it does use light ammunition, so we're going to have to pool our funds together here and figure out a way around that. And a bigger melee weapon is exactly what we'd like to see. Now that we've got that wrist-mounted gun and the shoulder cannon, we can rely on those for our ranged options and use the katana to take out some farther enemies. Actually, let's do that. That way we can blast with the wrist cannon while it's reloading, keep firing with the dagger. I don't think that knife is going to stay relevant for much longer, but we've got a really versatile build here, so I'm not too worried about it. And let's put on our Hornet's Nest. This is a lock-on missile launcher, so all we got to do is look and shoot. We're in great shape here. This is a pretty strong build. I'd like to swap this arm out with one of the new ones I found. So now we've got both new arms. We've still got a bit of scratches on us, but we really need that new reactor. Let's see if we ran into a component vendor. I could be moving around the map in a way that checks, but excellent. Not all the prices at the vendors are good, keep that in mind. There's a little bit of randomness to it, but it looks like there's a Nova in here that we can afford for a reasonable price. Now we do have some outstanding debt, if I remember correctly. Yep. Let's make that minimum payment, because I can't afford to make any more. But we've got a higher reputation with Carrier Capital now, so we can take out an even bigger loan. The minimum payments are large, but it might be worth it if we can get our ammo supplies back up, because they're looking pretty sad. Let's get that reactor installed. Excellent. Alright, 9 hours. That's a lot of time. Oh, and I almost forgot. We hit a resistance cell, which means we can do a resupply and grab an ammo of our choice. Let's go with the light ballistic, since I think one of our stronger weapons right now is actually that wrist cannon. Excellent. It's already loaded up. Let's check our controls, and I don't really care about kicking. I might parry, but I'm not concerned. It's on my right hand. Okay, 3 is a good key for that, and let's put the Hornet's Nest on 4 instead of 3, so they're not conflicting. Alright. Our threat level is getting very high too. We could really deal with a lay low to get that reset. Every level it'll get halved, but we can take it down to 0 by doing the lay low. Can't do that in every region though. I think we need to buy more ammo, but to do that, we're gonna need even more credits. And there's one place to get those. Let's not go crazy on the biggest loan here. This one puts us down 8,000. This is a good quality loan. Not all the loans are the same quality, and you can maybe edge out a little bit by checking them. This one's only gonna run us 2,000 credits to take out when we fully repay it, since we can see what the fully repaid value is. And this one's gonna run us another 8,000. It's double the size, but quadruple the cost. So let's take that guy out and just make sure we do a good job of making enough money here. Let's grab some heavy ballistic for our shoulder cannon, even though we've got some. And let's grab some medium for our pistol. And now we've got a pretty strong ammo supply. All these weapons should be effective at this level in the game, so it's more like we've got 187% of ammo across all of them, as long as we manage it well. And let's get some of our cash back. Well, I have to check this, it's free. Alright, nothing crazy. Let's get some of our cash back by scrapping our unused parts. And that should also give us the scrap we need to top up our hull and armor. I'm going to save these last 3 just in case I come up with a good idea for something to do. Alright, we are looking pretty good in terms of our overall durability. We got that new reactor we really wanted. We've got tier 3 legs, all tier 1 weapons across the board. I'm feeling pretty strong right now. And let's lay low with these last 3 instead of going for more credits. We should have enough to pay off our debts even if we just run through the next level. And that could happen. This Groundbreaker hub is a tough level. Alright, let's see if I can remember the key bindings for all of these weapons. Ooh. Struggling to manage all these in my head here. And it looks like this guy ended up on the wrong keybind. It can sometimes happen when you move your weapons around. They like to remember what keybind you put them on, and not swap it up if you put it on anything specific. Now we came here to help the Groundbreakers out, but we might not have made it in time. This is quite a few enemies. I think I can finish this last guy off with my sword. There we go. Heat levels are getting pretty high. Let's let the lock-on missiles deal with that guy. If we can finish this level by wiping out all of the enemy forces inside of it, we'll get a little ally at the beginning of every level. He's not the most powerful, but he'll take some damage for us and do something for pretty much no ammo. the hunters coming once I hit level 3 threat level. Looks like this guy's torso is taking some damage and he can't fully rotate, so I'm going to use that as an opportunity to save some of my own ammo. Need to be using the Hornet's Nest a little bit more. Everything else is getting pretty low. And he's in good shape. Let's see who's got the longest range attacks. Whoop. This is what I get for hitting threat level 5. Big hit. I probably could have done a little bit of mean things to that guy with my parry on my katana, but I don't want to risk it. My health is getting pretty low. My vitals are in good shape, but without much backup, could be in trouble. Ooh, those are some good hits. Alright, looks like my wrist cannon is pretty empty here. That would be fun. Let's grab it just so I can show you what it looks like. It feels like 3 barrages is typically enough to get him finished off. Looks like they got lucky too. Alright, let's get down here to recover some heat. My vitals are taking and pounding right now. Uh-oh. This isn't looking good for me. Let's see. I've got 5 shots left on my pistol. Whoa, that was dangerous. Wasn't paying attention to my heat levels there. Looks like my reactor's taking a bit of damage, which is reducing my cooling rate, throwing off my calculations here. Let's see what we can do. This is rough. But I'd really like to finish this level if we can. One more barrage should be enough for him. Alright, we're doing okay. Hopefully this will get me enough groundbreaker reputation to take advantage of their repair options. With enough reputation with the groundbreakers, their repair option lets you repair for credits alone instead of hours, which can be nice. Just 2 enemies left and plenty of ammo in the Hornet's Nest. I really need to do a better job of making use of this guy in combat, but oh, that's close. That lock-on delay can be punishing. Oh, close one. Good thing I've got a huge dash on these legs, but it looks like they just took out another vital. Alright, I just need to be careful about these orbital strikes, and I should be okay. But we've completed the objective. And didn't quite get that last Piece of loot there. Trying to keep my momentum up. Alright. We just got to make it to the end of the level without getting bombarded to death. Our vitals aren't in the worst shape they could be in. Still plenty left on the lethal vitals, that is. Let's see what I can do to get through here a little bit hopper faster, revealing my secret. Nope. Once the legs get significantly fast, you can do a little bit of movement tech. But I need to make sure I keep my heat levels low for those ore bubble strikes. That extra arm will be good, since I have a feeling one of these arms is going away. Hopefully it's not our favorite one with the wrist cannon. But they're both missing a vital, so they'll both be high value replacements. Close one. Oh, thought they could get me on the second barrage. Alright, we're out of here. Alright, that's huge. But a level 3 cooling block. I only get to see this part because I was strong enough to beat the game at one point before and added this guy to the loot pool. That cooling block would really help my dashing though. One more dash versus the ability to kind of negate a shot every so often. Let's go with the dash. Although that might not have been the most interesting thing for me to do. And we'll just do a quick preview. Ultimately what we're going to leave behind. Nice giant sword. Let's make sure we put our pistol in that offhand, so we can use it at the same time as our wrist cannon. Alright, what do we have to do here? Which one of these is going to be a more powerful melee option? This one's got level 3 powerful melee, and it kind of matches a little better than I think the Watchman would. But the Watchman does give us some extra armor. Damage. Let's put that new cooling block in, as unexciting as that is. We could really use a new reactor too. Alright. Unfortunately, we've not been doing a good job of helping the Groundbreakers out, so our reputation with them is pretty low. And providing aid's only going to give us about 100, which isn't going to get us there. But we did just clear out an entire level of enemies, which has let us collect tons of bounty. We're definitely going to need to think about laying low. I mean, we can check. We're gonna need to buy some ammo for sure. The low damage on our pistol is kind of causing it to fall behind in terms of effectiveness. Since it's a tier 1 part or a tier 2 part when we probably want to be finding tier 3s. Well, let's pay our debts. I'd like to save a little bit of cash, so it can be more efficient to pay off the whole thing, I think. There's a small fee attached to making payments, if I'm remembering how I made my own game. And yeah, we need a repair. It's just not optional. This is going to hurt us in the hours, but we need to stay in top shape, especially since we like the parts we have. Really bad for our ammo situation, but that leaves us with enough to get one little supply here. Let's go with the medium ammo, and we've got the money. Let's get the 100% stack. It's not as efficient in credits per ammo, but it is twice as efficient on credits per hour. And there's no point in having credits if you're not going to spend them. Alright, the satellite array. I've had enough of these orbital strikes. Let's take this guy out. That was not a great start for me. Just took all those barrages. Like I said, the backup isn't the strongest, but it did buy us a little bit of time. Because we've got a strong melee weapon, we can kind of take out these fortifications without too much cost. And I didn't lay low, so I'm dealing with the consequences of my actions pretty quick here. Uh-oh. Not as safe as I thought I was. And neither is he. Alright, we've got a big group coming at us here, but the terrain's a little awkward for them to get around, so we might be able to get away with it. It's got some aerial cover, let's take him out with a direct fire. Let's see what we can do about this guy. What are you doing over there? Alright, all our ammo is nice and condensed. Mortars. Close quarters, so let's switch to our downward attacks. Alright. Got a brief moment of safety. Once we hit threat level 5, it really just doesn't get worse. So we certainly can't take our time with all these strikes bearing down on us. But more violence won't hurt us too much. Other than putting us into the next level with just as much threat. Alright, we may have a side objective here of taking out these satellites, but that doesn't mean we should neglect our loot. Going a little quick here, since I see these enemies off in the distance. We've actually got two options here. We can take out the satellite array and prevent orbital strikes from starting when we hit threat level 4. Or we can hijack the satellite array and get our own orbital strike designator. I'm gonna play it safe though, because I'm scared. Although my vitals are doing pretty well. Now if we destroy these satellites, it does block us off from ever being able to taking the other option. What are you doing over there? Heat levels getting pretty high here. I've got a lot of enemies on me. 6 more satellites to go. And I still need to fire this shoulder cannon more than I am. Alright. Nothing I'm interested in there. Alright, let's see if I can't take care of this guy with some good old-fashioned melee. Yep. Just gonna snipe out the ranged enemies if I can. And since I'm already at threat level 5, I'm not too worried about taking on another mech or two. It's not like they're gonna start orbital striking me or anything. Alright. We're pretty in control here now. I think this fortress is clear too. Had some really sad loot. Let's see if we can make that better. Okay, stronger arm. Certainly better than that torso. Ooh, that's a big gun. I kind of like the intel though. Let's see what's in the supply pod when we get out of here. That's a big gun, but we're gonna have to leave it. Well, no, that's no fun. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Let's go. How could I even say that? Lots of ammo efficiency on it. It's a big cannon with a lot of AoE. It should be a little bit more responsive than this missile launcher since it doesn't need any lock-on. But we really got to find a replacement for this pistol. It's been letting us down here. Well, I have to choose that. It is my favorite weapon in the game. And that should get rid of most of our problems. There's our nice big cannon I promised you, but I think we've got something a little bit more fun. Now, I desperately need to repair. Let's cash in this intel, keep the heat levels low. Ooh, a nice little melee weapon that pairs well. With our color scheme. Alright, we can still use that wrist-mounted cannon with that pistol, or sorry, with that knife. We've got a big shoulder-mounted cannon to use heavy ammo, and we've got the lance, which uses medium ammo and has a really strong melee attack. Probably a little over-kitted, but that's alright. We've got a very versatile high-tier melee weapon now. And let's do some modification. I believe we found an arm. I wonder if this guy's going to be any better. Same melee strength. Both have powerful melee 3. Let's just swap it out because this arm gives us some extra armor. This is probably the best choice. How are we doing on ammo, though? Very sad. Alright, you know what? We're going to use some advanced maneuvers here. How are our loans doing? Probably should have just made the full payment on that. I can only really afford one drop of ammo. Unless I take out more loans, which probably is not a good idea. But it's a strategy. I need that medium ammo. Way too low on that. Let's see what we've got. The scrapyard. We can do 2 scraps, but that means we're not buying any ammo. We're already in perfect condition. It's just a shame that we needed that ammo. Let's take care of our scrapping here. Stay on top of it. Keep our credit supply up. We are getting pretty close to the end. About one more level, and it's a good one too. Since we can visit the marketplace for free, we might as well sell our scrap. Alright, we're guaranteed to have 10k for the next level, so we can put off some of our debts for the next life if we really need to and buy some medium ammo. But I don't think we're going to be spending a lot of time in this next level. But it is a very good side objective. Taking out the enemy anti-air squad will give us fire support in all of our levels. I'd really like to get that. And my controls are enormous. Okay. Let's see if I can read these. That's the important one. Alright, we're all good. We've got this. Now, another nice thing about helping out the groundbreakers is it causes all the groundbreaker mechs on the map to become hostile to the enemy. And you can see in the upper right, they're kind of doing that whole liberation thing on their own. Let's show you what it's like to blast this huge cannon. Massive AoE. To get the full value of it, out of it, generally want to hit 2 enemies, but we've got a little bit of room to have some fun. Like that. That's what I get for hitting threat level 5. Let's see if we can make some efficient shots here. That's a good find. It's really the last piece of the puzzle, probably. I bet there's a better torso we could get, but we can't have it all. All we're really have left to do here is to take out these anti-air Granvirs. Once we do that, it'll be pretty smooth. We can pick up whatever loot we want along the way, and it wouldn't hurt to help out the ally groundbreakers. Since now that we've got our reputation pretty decent with them, they're gonna drop higher level loot. And also, since this last level is a farm area, we'll be able to do the groundbreaker repair if we can get up to 800. And it looks like we're at 700 right now. So just one more liberation, and they should be buddy-buddy. Let's get some usage out of this little knife we picked up, since these guys will be a bit easier to take out with melee. And 2 liberations done. It looks like a pretty, not great torso, especially in our current state. We really rely on that shoulder cannon spot. I can only really think of, I think, one really solid torso for us right now. Alright, let's go do our due diligence and check out what's over here. Do that last liberation, just in case. We haven't really done that much looting. Leave that behind, we're not going to need it. It is pretty nice not having orbital strikes bearing down on us. Nothing we're really interested in. What do we got over here? Uh-oh. Well, this might not be very interesting. Might have passed up our last anti-air Granvir. Hopefully he's right in this little pocket of unexplored territory, and I don't have to go running too far away to find him. Yeah, looks like he's right in here. Looks like he's got some backup too. Favorite things about this lance is that you can stab and shoot at the same time, or you can just do one. Ooh, those are some good legs. Let's take those just to stay on top of things. Not sure if we'll actually want to swap out to them, especially considering we can repair and what we've got isn't bad. Let's do the quick comparison to our vampire. I like that reduced dash heat. Probably gonna have to go with those, although they're not as durable overall. Let's do that. And we definitely need to get that installed. Alright, new reactor, new legs. A little low rarity on our torso, which is going to leave us kind of weak. But we can do this groundbreaker repair. You know what? I wonder if we can modify it and get it up a rarity tier. It doesn't seem like it. It's kind of weird, actually. Alright. Check our specifications real quick. Now the right thing to do is to repay your loans, but we're about to save the whole planet, so we're gonna buy ammo, because I think they'd rather be alive than paid. That's another fun weapon, but for another run. Let's pick up some medium ammo, some heavy ammo, and some light ammo. We can use these ceramic plates to save a little bit. I know I talked a lot about that groundbreaker repair, but we ended up not doing it. Anything crazy in the component vendor? Looks like those tier 3 torsos are hiding. Can make some money scrapping our old legs, but money's not really useful to us either. Always good to tune up before the final level. It's essentially permanent, since we won't be going much further than this. Let's do it. Alright, I wish I had a little bit more ammo here, but we're gonna have to make do. We've got the better reactor, all our parts are in top condition, got some very high mobility legs. Let's see what we can do. Alright, our mission is to deliver the ominously named package to the center of the Millennium Company fortress. We're gonna let him deal with that. And get out. These legs don't have extreme jump height for no reason. They are named after something quite well known for jumping. And this heat efficiency is really helping us out on the dash, staying mobile. Alright, let's be careful on the bridge. No need to end a run with gravity. And get some value out of our legs here. I almost forgot about this guy. Oh, and I definitely forgot about those guys. Alright, things are getting a little out of hand here. I'd like to keep my durability up. I don't think so. As much as I'd love to deal with the aces that spawn when you do this, I'm going to keep my distance and let them get caught in the blast. Alright. Unfortunately, that didn't make all of our problems go away. We should be alright. Alright, they're a little angry at us, so let's get out of here before their special orbital strikes take us out. Zoom out for a little bit better visibility. There we are. Did kind of hurry our way in, so there might be a little bit more resistance than we bargained for on the way out. All right. And you might think it's over, but we've got one last thing to deal with. Looks like they're not quite ready to give up. Let's see here. Let's give it everything we've got. All right, here we go. Final boss. See if we can't use these as cover against him. And there's our artillery strike, getting us some value. Alright, shields are down, and that was bad. Alright. Uh-oh. Ooh, that stomp. Uh-oh. I don't have much left in me. Whew. That was close. That was really close. Wow. I can't believe I survived that, honestly. That was insanely close. Thank God for all these extra weapons that I strapped on. Alright, well, thank you for watching. That was the playthrough of the first campaign of Granvir. If you had a good time, please give the demo a download yourself. There's tons of stuff that you didn't get to see in here. There's tons of different parts and guns and things I showed you and told you they were cool and left them behind. So please give it a download and check out that cool stuff. And if you'd like to see more, wishlist it on Steam. Alright, thanks for watching.